Bruschetta or bruschetta, one of my personal favorites. This simple yet flavorful appetizer has its origins in central Italy and has become a beloved classic in Italian cuisine. To make the perfect bruschetta, start with a crusty loaf of bread, preferably Italian. Slice the bread into thick pieces, drizzle with olive oil, and toast on a grill or in the oven until golden and crispy. For the topping, use ripe and juicy tomatoes, preferably Roma or San Marzano, and chop them into small pieces. Combine the tomatoes with minced garlic, fresh basil leaves, and a sprinkle of salt and pepper to taste. You can also add a drizzle of balsamic vinegar or a sprinkle of grated Parmesan cheese for extra flavor. Once the bread is toasted, rub it with a garlic clove for an extra garlicky kick, and top with the tomato mixture. Serve immediately, while the bread is still warm and crispy. Bruschetta is a perfect appetizer to showcase the flavors of fresh and simple ingredients, and it pairs well with a variety of wines and cocktails. Caprese salad is a classic Italian dish that is all about simplicity and showcasing the quality of fresh ingredients. To make the perfect caprese salad, start with ripe and juicy tomatoes, preferably heirloom or vine-ripened, and slice them into thick rounds. Next, slice fresh mozzarella cheese into similar-sized pieces and layer it with the tomato slices on a plate. Add a generous amount of fresh basil leaves, torn into small pieces, and sprinkle the dish with salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Drizzle the salad with high-quality extra virgin olive oil, and you're done. The result is a colorful and refreshing dish that celebrates the best of summer flavors. As an expert chef, I recommend using only the highest quality ingredients for this dish. Opt for a fresh and creamy buffalo mozzarella for added richness, and choose a fruity and robust olive oil to complement the flavors of the salad. Caprese salad is perfect as a light appetizer or a side dish, and it pairs well with a variety of white wines and light-bodied reds. Spaghetti carbonara, a classic pasta dish that has become a staple in Italian cuisine. To make the perfect carbonara, start by cooking spaghetti in a large pot of salted boiling water until al dente. While the pasta is cooking, fry diced guanciale or pancetta in a pan until crispy, and set aside. In a bowl, whisk together eggs, grated Parmesan cheese or pecorino romano, and freshly cracked black pepper until well combined. When the pasta is done, reserve some of the cooking water, and drain the rest. Return the pasta to the pot, and pour in the egg and cheese mixture, stirring quickly to coat the pasta. The residual heat from the pasta will cook the eggs and create a creamy sauce. Add the cooked guanciale or pancetta to the pot, and stir well. If the sauce seems too thick, add a splash of the reserved pasta water to thin it out. As an expert chef, I recommend using only the highest quality ingredients for this dish. Opt for fresh eggs, aged Parmesan cheese or pecorino romano, and high-quality guanciale or pancetta for the best flavor. And don't forget to serve the carbonara immediately, as it's best enjoyed hot and fresh. Buon appetito! Lasagna, one of the most famous Italian dishes around the world, is a labor of love that is well worth the effort. To make the perfect lasagna, start by cooking lasagna noodles in a large pot of salted boiling water until al dente. While the pasta is cooking, prepare the meat sauce by browning ground beef or pork in a pan with onions, garlic, and your choice of herbs and spices. Add a can of crushed tomatoes, and let the sauce simmer until thickened. In a separate bowl, mix ricotta cheese with egg, grated Parmesan cheese, and chopped fresh parsley, for added flavor. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius, and grease a baking dish with butter or oil. To assemble the lasagna, start with a layer of meat sauce on the bottom of the dish, followed by a layer of cooked lasagna noodles. Spread a layer of the ricotta cheese mixture over the noodles, and then another layer of meat sauce. Repeat the layers until you reach the top of the dish. Top the lasagna with shredded mozzarella cheese, and bake in the preheated oven for 30 to 40 minutes, or until the cheese is melted and bubbly. As an expert chef, I recommend letting the lasagna rest for a few minutes after it comes out of the oven, to allow the layers to settle and the cheese to cool slightly. Serve with a side salad and a glass of red wine for a classic Italian feast. Osso buco, a traditional Italian dish from Milan, is a true masterpiece of slow cooking. To make the perfect osso buco, start by browning veal shanks in a large Dutch oven or pot with oil or butter until well browned on all sides. Remove the shanks and set them aside. In the same pot, sauté diced onions, carrots, and celery until soft and translucent. Add minced garlic, and cook for an additional minute. Deglaze the pot with white wine, scraping up any brown bits from the bottom of the pot. Add canned tomatoes, chicken or beef broth, and herbs like thyme and bay leaves, and bring the mixture to a boil. Return the veal shanks to the pot, making sure they are covered in the sauce. Cover the pot with a lid, and place it in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit 175 degrees Celsius. Braise the shanks for 2 to 3 hours, or until the meat is fork tender and falling off the bone. As an expert chef, I recommend serving osso buco with risotto Milanese or polenta, and garnishing with gremolata, a mixture of lemon zest, minced garlic, and parsley, for a burst of freshness. This dish is a true celebration of slow-cooked flavors, and is perfect for a special occasion or a comforting family dinner. Saltimbocca alla Romana, a traditional Roman dish, is a delicious and elegant preparation of veal scallopini. To make the perfect saltimbocca alla Romana, start by pounding veal slices until they are thin and even. Season them with salt and pepper. Top each veal slice with a slice of prosciutto and a few fresh sage leaves, and secure them in place with toothpicks. Heat a large skillet over medium-high heat, and add butter or oil. When the butter is melted or the oil is hot, add the veal slices to the pan, prosciutto side down. Cook for 2 to 3 minutes on each side, or until the veal is cooked through and the prosciutto is crispy. Remove the toothpicks, and transfer the saltimbocca to a plate. As an expert chef, I recommend serving saltimbocca alla Romana with a side of sautéed spinach or roasted potatoes, and a glass of dry white wine. This dish is all about the delicate balance of flavors and textures, and is sure to impress your guests with its simple yet refined presentation. Parmigiana di melanzane is a classic Italian dish that features layers of crispy fried eggplant slices, rich tomato sauce, and nutty Parmesan cheese. To make the perfect Parmigiana di melanzane, start by slicing eggplants into thin rounds, and salt them to remove excess moisture. After 30 minutes, rinse and pat them dry. Dip the eggplant slices in flour, then egg, and finally coat them in seasoned breadcrumbs. Fry the eggplant slices in oil until they are golden brown and crispy. Drain them on a paper towel-lined plate. In a separate pot, make a simple tomato sauce by sautéing diced onions and garlic in olive oil, then adding canned tomatoes and herbs like basil and oregano. Simmer the sauce until it has thickened and the flavors have melded together. To assemble the dish, layer the eggplant slices in a baking dish, alternating with spoonfuls of tomato sauce and grated Parmesan cheese. Repeat the layers until you reach the top of the dish, and finish with a layer of cheese. Bake the Parmigiana di melanzane in a preheated oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius for 30 to 40 minutes, or until the cheese is melted and bubbly. Let the dish cool for a few minutes before serving. As an expert chef, I recommend serving Parmigiana di melanzane with a side salad of bitter greens like arugula or radicchio, and a crusty slice of bread for sopping up any leftover tomato sauce. This dish is a celebration of the eggplant's meaty texture and rich flavor, and is sure to be a crowd pleaser at any dinner table. Risotto alla Milanese is a creamy and comforting dish that hails from the northern Italian city of Milan. To make the perfect risotto alla Milanese, start by heating chicken or vegetable broth in a separate pot. In a large skillet, sauté diced onions in butter until they are translucent. Add arborio rice to the skillet, and toast it for a minute until it is slightly golden. Add a splash of white wine to the skillet, and stir until it has been absorbed by the rice. Begin adding the hot broth, 1 ladle at a time, stirring constantly until the broth is absorbed by the rice. Repeat this process until the rice is cooked al dente, but still has a slight bite to it. In the last few minutes of cooking, add a pinch of saffron to the skillet, and stir until it has infused the rice with its vibrant yellow color and delicate flavor. Finish the risotto by stirring in grated Parmesan cheese, and a dollop of butter for added richness. As an expert chef, I recommend serving risotto alla Milanese with a sprinkle of chopped parsley or chives, and a glass of chilled white wine like Pinot Grigio. This dish is all about the simple yet luxurious flavors of saffron and Parmesan cheese, and is sure to be a crowd pleaser at any dinner party. Tiramisu is a classic Italian dessert that is both elegant and indulgent. To make the perfect tiramisu, start by whisking together egg yolks and sugar until the mixture is pale and thick. Add mascarpone cheese and whisk until the mixture is smooth and creamy. In a separate bowl, beat egg whites until they form stiff peaks. Gently fold the egg whites into the mascarpone mixture until fully combined. Dip ladyfingers into a mixture of coffee and rum or marsala wine, and arrange them in a single layer in a large baking dish. Spread a layer of the mascarpone mixture over the ladyfingers, and repeat the layers until you reach the top of the dish. Finish with a dusting of cocoa powder on top. Refrigerate the tiramisu for at least 2 hours, or overnight, to allow the flavors to meld together and for the dessert to set. As an expert chef, I recommend serving tiramisu with a sprinkle of grated dark chocolate, and a piping hot cup of espresso or cappuccino on the side. This dessert is a celebration of the classic Italian flavors of coffee, mascarpone cheese, and cocoa, and is sure to impress your guests at any dinner party. Gelato is Italy's famous ice cream, known for its rich, creamy texture and intense flavors. To make the perfect gelato, start by using only the freshest and highest quality ingredients, such as whole milk, heavy cream, sugar, and fresh fruit. The milk and cream are heated with sugar until it forms a smooth custard-like base. This mixture is then flavored with fresh fruit, chocolate, or nuts, depending on the desired flavor. The mixture is then chilled to the perfect temperature, which is lower than traditional ice cream, resulting in a denser and creamier texture. The mixture is then churned in a gelato machine until it is smooth and creamy. The gelato is then ready to be enjoyed, or can be stored in a freezer for later. As an expert chef, I recommend serving gelato in small portions to fully savor the intense and luxurious flavors. Popular flavors include pistachio, hazelnut, chocolate, and strawberry, but there are endless possibilities when it comes to gelato flavors. The beauty of gelato is that it can be enjoyed year-round, as a refreshing treat in the summer or as a decadent dessert in the winter.